Most Christians read the Bible without ever stepping into the world Jesus actually lived in. But here's the truth. If you don't understand Second Temple Judaism, you cannot understand the New Testament the way its authors intended. In this video, I'll show you the missing context that unlocks Scripture like never before. Hi, this is Mark Bates. This is Rabbit Room Apologetics, and today's subject is the importance of understanding Second Temple period Judaism and first century culture for biblical interpretation. So, let's get into it. So, the contextual bridge between the Old and New Testaments. The Second Temple period serves as a crucial bridge not only chronologically, but also interpretively and theologically between the Old and New Testaments. Understanding this period helps to grasp how New Testament writers read and interpret the Old Testament in their own time. New Testament authors and their contemporaries were deeply influenced by the Jewish thought, literature, and traditions of the Second Temple period, which shaped their worldview and theological expressions. Let's talk about Jewish literary and the religious environment. The literature produced during the Second Temple period, including the Dead Sea Scrolls, what we now know as the Apocrypha and the Pseudepigrapha, reflects how Jewish communities engaged with their sacred texts and theological questions. This literature is essential for understanding the background of New Testament writings. Early Christianity emerged within this Jewish context, making it vital to understand Second Temple Judaism to properly interpret the New Testament, which is deeply rooted in Jewish thought and scriptural interpretation. Doing this helps you avoid anachronistic interpretations. So many modern interpretations mistakenly apply later rabbinic Judaism or contemporary denominational perspectives to New Testament texts. However, rabbinic literature was written centuries after the New Testament and does not reflect the immediate context of Jesus and the apostles. Instead, Second Temple Jewish material provides the authentic background for interpreting New Testament passages. Also, understanding the diversity and pluralism within Second Temple Judaism helps avoid oversimplified or inaccurate readings of biblical texts, recognizing the variety of Jewish sects and theological approaches present in the first century. You also need some cultural and historical awareness. The first century Jewish world was influenced by various civilizations, such as Persia, Greece, and Rome, which shaped social, political, and religious life. Awareness of these influences is necessary to understand the biblical narrative and the New Testament's engagement with its wider cultural environment. The synagogue, temple, and Jewish institutions played a significant role in daily life and religious practice, which are frequently referenced in the New Testament and must be understood in the historical context. It also helps enhance your hermeneutical accuracy. That's how well you actually do your interpretation. Immersing oneself in the worldview of Second Temple Judaism allows interpreters to think like the original biblical authors and audiences, leading to a more accurate and meaningful interpretation of Scripture. This approach helps to uncover nuances, allusions, and theological concepts that would otherwise be missed or misunderstood when reading the Bible through a modern lens. So, in summary, understanding the Second Temple period Judaism and first century culture is essential for biblical interpretation because it provides the historical, religious, and cultural framework in which the biblical texts were written and originally understood. This knowledge prevents anachronistic readings and enriches comprehension of both the Old and New Testament. Okay? So just remember, it is crucial for you to understand what the authors, because they were writing to people of their time, what they lived in, how they interpreted things, and what were the contexts that they had. All right? So we're going to cover this a great deal. But if you're looking for some texts you can look into, There's the Dictionary of New Testament Background, a compendium of contemporary biblical scholarship that's put out by InterVarsity Press, and that is available on Logos. You also can get the book, which is the written by Jeremy Stallman and Fred Smith, okay? And that's also available on Logos. And you might look for Matthias Henz and David Lincoln, which is Scriptures in Early Christian Writings, the use of Old Testament and the New, right? And that's also available on Logos. And finally, you might look for Randall Price and H. Wainhouse, right? Which is a Zondervan book, which is one of the many dictionaries available on Logos. Okay, so there are some sources you can look into. They're all available on Logos. So if you get Logos, you can find these there. And so, thank you very much. If you haven't done so, please think about liking and sharing this video with somebody. Also, if you haven't done so, please think about subscribing to the channel. It helps us a great deal. Look in the description as well. You'll find 2 links in there. One is to my Bible study platform. It's $10 a month. You get all the videos I produce. There are quite a few that I don't put on YouTube that you'll get access to, along with transcripts, so that you can follow along with the text in more detail. Also, there are there are courses in there where we talk about very specific things to help provide you with some theological background on how to do this. And finally, it is a community. There is the ability for you to ask questions, to answer people on areas that you may know about or provide your input into. So you have some ability there to really delve deeply into this. And we're there to help you. I also will provide time for open mic question and answer periods where it's live and you'll be able to ask me any question you want, and we'll try our best to give you the answers that you're looking for. So hope that helps, and thank you very much for listening.